Easy Crazy 1 asks, despite your issues with it, what keeps you playing Pokken over other fighters? Excellent question, and in this video I'm going to talk about my 5 favorite things about Pokken, why I keep playing it. But to clarify, I don't just play Pokken. In fact, I probably play just as much Tekken, if not more Tekken, depending on the week, than Pokken. And I'm also going to be playing Soul Calibur when that game comes out. Those 3 games, Tekken, Soul Calibur, and Pokken, all lead me into my first reason that I really love Pokken. It's the ground game. As I was playing Pokken, I really learned that I love 3D fighting games as opposed to 2D fighting games. See, the thing with 3D fighting games is the animations of the attacks are a lot longer, meaning that it's a lot more of a thing that you can whiff punish people when they press a button. You have to actually commit. If you ever watch a Street Fighter V match, you'll see people just swinging all over the place and whiffing all these buttons, and you can't whiff punish them because the normals are too stubby and the retracting animation is too fast. Whereas in Pokken, if you're like a Lucario and you whiff like an 8X, it does this long animation, which is very well done, but it lasts for a long time and it has a lot of recovery, so you can whiff punish it. That's how 3D games, for the most part, work. So I really enjoy the ground game. I enjoy the spacing of Pokken. I think the projectiles do a lot of chip, which is really cool. I think you get a very big reward for properly anti-airing people. And that's number 1. I love the ground game. I love footsies. The second thing I like about Pokken is the safe Oki. So one of the things that Pokken has that's unique from a lot of other games is there aren't invincible reversals in Pokken. Outside of Gengar and Mewtwo's Super, which are grabs, there aren't any actually invincible attacks. I think Krogunk might have one. I heard Krogunk has like a Shoryuken or something like that, but I've never seen it in a match. But outside of that, everything else in the game is just an armored reversal. In Street Fighter, let's say somebody was getting up and then you went for whatever attack, this doesn't matter, standing medium punch. If they go for an uppercut, which is an actual invincible attack, they will go through, they will pass through your character's hitbox and then hit your character's hitbox out of it. That doesn't happen in Pokken. In Pokken, you have armor. So you'll strike into them and they'll absorb the hit and then they'll hit you. The thing with armor is armor can be pierced, blue armor can be grabbed, red armor can be pierced, frankly, and if you use an attack that has little enough hit stop on your character, you can either avoid or block the armor in time to not get hit, and then a lot of times you can punish them. In a lot of other games like Guilty Gear and Street Fighter V, if somebody wakes up with an invincible reversal and you struck into them, you're gonna get hit. Now, sometimes you can do a safe jump, but games are kind of moving away from letting you get a hard knockdown and then do the same setup every time. Pokken doesn't have invincible reversals, it has a lot of nice counter pierces. Darkrai, Shadow Mewtwo are 2 examples of characters that it doesn't really matter what you wake up with versus them, you're gonna get hit. If you wake up with anything against Vortex and you're in the corner, you're gonna get hit. If you wake up against Darkrai's 2X in Nightmare, you're gonna get hit. It's completely safe, and I love that. That's something that's unfortunately pretty rare in a lot of fighting games. And speaking of armor, I love all the different ways that there are to stop armor. I actually have a video discussing all the different ways to deal with it. Okay, so in Tekken, to beat armor, you have to go low, or you can hit them before the armor starts up. I think that's a good system. In Pokken, I don't think it's as good, but at least Pokken has counter pierces. They have, you know, all the ways that I mentioned to how to beat armor. Big thumbs up. I used to hate the armor system in Pokken so much. Actually, I still hate the armor system in Pokken, but I love the different ways that you can beat armor in Pokken, so that's the 3rd reason. The 4th is strong zoning characters. This is something that Street Fighter used to do really well, but they really made the game super rush down heavy, dash up heavy, and because I used to be a Street Fighter player. Pokken has characters like Darkrai, they have characters like Chandelure that are just so ridiculous at keeping the opponent out for an extended period of time, and they're able to chip at them very safely without having to commit too hard to close quarters combat and without having to add too much risk into the game. I enjoy zoning, it's very fun. Pure zoners, not so much as characters that have good pokes as well, but Pokken has a very good variety of that. I really love the zoning in the game. I really love the keep out, I love the spacing. I don't like the close-up brawly kind of battling all the time. In a context of another game, the pressure is usually safer because there's not so much armor, but then again, they have invincible reversals as well. I've kind of, as I've grown to play fighting games, I really like the spacing and the zoning of a lot of the more long-reaching characters a lot more. And the diverse playstyle. So speaking of that, there are characters like Blaziken, Machamp, they want to get up close, they just want to do all of their damage, you know, real close up to you, grab you, mix you up, and then finish the round. And then there's characters like Darkrai that want to keep you out for the entire duration of the round, and they have no problem doing that. So the diverse playstyles, I really love that. So those are the 5 reasons: the ground game, safe Oki, the methods of stopping armor, strong zoning characters, and the diverse playstyles that you're allowed in the game. The diverse playstyles really lets you express yourself as an individual, and that's something that I never was really able to do in Street Fighter V. So those are the reasons that I love Pokkén Tournament Deluxe, and that's why I keep on playing it. But don't get me wrong, I still play other fighting games, and I believe that you should never put all of your eggs in one basket, and you should try out a lot of different other games, see if you can become as good at those games as you are at Pokkén. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.